It's all happening this week on Nerding Out with Matches and Shannon. Join the boys as they relive Siskel and Ebert's iconic reviews of Re-Animator and Basic Instinct. Grab your popcorn. It's gonna be a ride.
A 1, 2, 3, 4.
Hey guys, you know what time it is.
That's right, kids.
It's right, kids. It's time for NOMS podcast, which means
it's time for NOMS podcast with your dutiful host. That would be Matches and
Shannon.
That's right. Hi,
Shannon.
I'm Shannon.
I'm Matches. This is
You
NOMS podcast. You're nerding out with Matches and Shannon as we review Siskel and Ebert and react to Siskel and Ebert. And come nerd out with us.
Come nerd out with us. Actually, Matches, I've decided to change the format. We are now the only podcast dedicated to finding out what happened to Judy Winslow after she was told to go clean her room.
She never came back.
That's right. She went into her room to clean it and never returned. The mystery.
Yeah.
She never returned. I'm just kidding.
I always suspected Stefan or Kel myself.
I think Little Richie had something to do with it, but that's just me. That's just
Could
me. I know
be,
the
yeah.
storylines increased. Yeah. Maybe they locked the door. But anyway, yes, we are going to be nerding out watching Siskel and Ebert, having fun. Should the people join us?
Yes, they most certainly should.
I like how you had to.
Okay, so I guess we're going to introduce the movies we're going to do here.
That's a good idea, so people will know.
I think it's so excited. Today we have a good show. Today we're going to cover Re-Animator, the classic, the body horror classic,
That's right.
the wonderful Mad Scientist movie from 1985. And we're also doing something I'm excited about as well, Basic Instinct.
That's right. And don't worry, ladies and gentlemen, I got my mom's permission. I can talk about the movie tonight, so it's okay.
Yeah, we got to watch it too.
Yeah. But I only saw the TV version, so it was like 5 minutes. No.
Oh, no. No, that's
kidding.
not good.
What are you going to do? Arrest you for smoking? Credits.
Yeah, it was my first time seeing it, and I'm actually excited for you guys to see what we think.
It took you that long. That's okay.
Yeah, it did. I just assumed it was a bad movie with just sex.
I'll tell the story about how I saw it and everything, because it's kind of funny in a way, and kind of makes you wonder, like, wow, when teachers are in charge, are they really in charge? We'll tell you more.
Welcome to NOMS podcast.
That's right.
Here Matches, and that is Shannon.
And we're gonna be nomming all night long.
Okay, I'm scared. What are we gonna do?
Oh, I'm even scared of her. I'm re-scared, because we're gonna watch Siskel and Ebert review Re-Animator, which they did make 2 sequels to this, and I'm very disappointed that none of them were called Re-Animator. Come on,
That's
it was
true.
right there.
Yeah, it's true.
But we will talk about the sequels. We will talk about Siskel and Ebert reviewing them, because as you told me before the show, you said Siskel and Ebert had a sort of a way they hated 80s horror films, maybe 80s horror films.
They didn't have a good time with 80s horror films.
No.
They had a lot of problems with them. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? If we ever do Scream, I want to see how they felt about Scream.
Yeah, we should do that sometime. I don't know. I don't remember.
But we're not doing Scream. No, we're not.
We're not doing Scream. No,
we're not. We're doing Re-Animator, right? The story of a beautiful Caribbean lady who becomes a singer, actress, and just
not Re-Animator.
No, not Re-Animator.
Wait, it is Re-Animator.
I thought it was Re-Animator. I
know, no, but her name is actually Rihanna. It's
is it Rihanna?
Yeah.
Oh,
the actual. She doesn't really correct anyone, but like, yeah, for real. So it really is Re-Animator.
Well, I like to make Groot, my son, and others their eyes roll when I call it manga. Are you reading your manga? No, I know it's manga because I work at a bookstore.
Yeah, sure.
But I like to go, are you reading your manga?
It is manga.
Want to watch your enemy?
That's great.
So it wasn't until probably, I would say, less than 5 or 6 years ago, I finally saw this movie.
You only saw it 5 or 6 years ago?
Yes.
I want to talk, but I thought you saw it back then.
Oh no, not back then. No, not when I was 8.
Oh my gosh. No, well, I mean, when we were teenagers, college, people talked about it all the time, and I'd be like, yeah, it's a classic,
Yeah. Were we lying in the 90s?
No,
I
mean, the aesthetic is so good. Like, the poster is so good. Like, I wish it were as good as the poster, but it's great.
But it's a really good job they did. I mean, it is loosely based on a H.P. Lovecraft tale called Herbert West, Re-Animator. Yeah. And of course, stars, I would say maybe one of our favorite horror icons, Mr. Jeffrey Combs. That's right.
That's right. Yeah. Mr. The star of The Frighteners.
Yeah. Sorry, Michael J. Fox.
Only guy in that movie. He was amazing.
He played every role. And
that's probably the first thing I ever knew him in, I think.
You know what? Me too. Because at first I was like, is that Jim Carrey?
Yeah. Oh, so good. Over the top.
And hopefully we'll do that. And he brings that to all his roles. Like he's got like a Bruce Campbell type quality to him. You know, like
when he rips his shirt off and all this stuff.
My body
runes and
pain. But in Re-Animator, as you will see, I don't want to spoil anything, but yeah, we're gonna spoil. He's one of the protagonists, but he's not a very nice guy. Like he's very much a mad scientist.
That's true. There's the part where he has their cat in the refrigerator, and I heard they used a real dead cat for some of these scenes. I don't think they killed a cat for it. Hopefully not.
Wow. I heard they cut the actor's head actually off. But they did reanimate it to use.
Yeah. Do you think that Herbert in the movie killed the cat?
I don't know.
I don't think he did. I mean, he's a weird guy, but he's a pretty straightforward and scientifically minded guy. So I think what happened, that he said what happened, was actually what happened. He found it on the floor. He'd gotten his head stuck in a jar and suffocated to death, and he didn't want to tell them right away. I think he's telling the truth.
Well, what is that they call someone who doesn't purposely go out and hurt people, but they don't care if they get hurt in the process of them doing things? Is that amoral?
No,
not amoral. Well, it's like someone who's like, look, I'm going to do this, and if you get hurt, that's your own stupid fault.
Yeah.
Because the ultimate reward is the science.
Yeah, he's definitely that for sure. Yeah.
Oh yeah. He is a mad scientist in this movie. For those of you who haven't seen it, Herbert West go see it right now, then watch us. Herbert West is one of two doctors studying, and he's been doing these behind-the-scenes experiments on dead bodies. He's been causing them to what, Matches?
Come back to life.
That's right. He's been.
Is that the word for it? Oh, yes, that's right. Yeah, reanimating.
Yes, they're not exactly zombies in the way that brains, or trying to eat people.
What do they say? You killed him? No. I gave him life.
Yes.
He's so good.
Jeffrey Combs, he has a way, as some of my favorite actors do, of going over the top, but not in a way that's too much.
Yeah, he's so good in this. He's very, very good.
And I cannot, for the life of me, I think it's David Gale. He's the villain, plays the villain. That's the name of the actor.
Yeah.
I think there was that movie about him where he was on death row, but that was different.
Yeah, that's different.
That was different. Wrong David Gale. But yeah, and being a Lovecraft tale, Lovecraft had this university called Miskatonic University. It was a made-up university. It's in this movie, and it featured in a lot of Lovecraft tales.
I did not know that. That's cool.
And you would think with all the murders and the strange supernatural things that happened there, they would close it.
They could close it. Yeah,
they should. Why don't they close Camp Crystal Lake? I mean, come on.
I don't know, but I'm wondering, why do you think Herbert West came to that school? Because he went to a school in another country, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and he transferred there to learn all he could, but he knows this. He knows this doctor that he's going to. He's not a favorite across the world. He's not very good, apparently.
And like I said, I don't know if amoral is the right word. Obtuse. It's like he's blind to the destruction he's causing.
Exactly. But I think he goes there so he can cause it. This guy's not a very good doctor. I think he feels like he can get away with anything he wants to there.
Right.
Maybe.
I mean, he's not a terrible person. He's not trying to kill innocent people.
Yeah, they definitely don't go into this in the movie, but I would like to read the book on the novel, on the movie, the novelization of this movie.
The novel turned into a book.
So there's a lot more info there. I think they said it goes well beyond the college years or whatever.
Really? Yeah. I think there was a comic book series, and of course there were two sequels. Yeah. There was Bride of the Re-Animator in 1990, and then in 2003 there was Beyond Re-Animator.
Ooh, I still need to see those.
Yes,
and I just watched this for the first time this weekend, all the way through.
Well, here's the thing. We'll talk about the ending later, but the ending of each movie, kind of like the Jason movies after a while, they don't coincide with the beginnings of the next movie. You know, it's kind of like you're wondering like what happened with that.
With that, yeah, that's funny. I kind of like that. Like that makes it more of a B movie to me.
Right? Yeah, it's like clean slate. It's like
yeah, because it's definitely is a lower budget movie, but I think the effects, the body horror, the goop, the reanimation goop with this bright green or whatever.
Body horror
is so cool. Like
body horror is crazy, man. Because to me, body horror in 7th grade was zits. You're like, oh.
Yeah. But it gets much worse than that, doesn't it, Shannon?
It does. Yes, it does. Occasionally, you lose your hair and you have to sunscreen it every summer.
Oh yeah,
but yeah.
All right, so we're gonna Jeffrey Combs in this. So let's go ahead and watch the review.
Let's do it, man. Let's go to Re-Animator.
A film called Re-Animator, and horror elements do have a way of popping up into cult films and videos. Re-Animator comes from an H.P. Lovecraft story and offers us a decapitated genius walking around with head in hand, looking for plasma to keep his brain alive. It's also the kind of scene that kids pass along saying to their friends, you've got to see this picture, and then they hand them the tape across the street and it's all over the neighborhood. Well, I've condemned a lot of violent pictures over the years, but not ones with good humor about themselves.
You know, a lot of people who aren't familiar with what movies have come to in 1986 will probably be a little appalled when you describe Re-Animator as a good old time at the movies, but I know what you mean. It has a good heart, and it is funny and satirical.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. The score was going ham through some of that stuff, no matter what was going on.
Yeah, man,
yeah.
No, Stuart Gordon, the director. I want to say real quick. You know, he did a lot of Lovecraft movies. You know, especially with Jeffrey Combs. Yeah. In fact, and some were hits, and some were not. You know, like this one was popular. From Beyond is popular. Then there was Castle Freak and Dagon, which I saw on Sci-Fi Channel, which wasn't terrible.
Really? Okay. Yeah, I haven't seen Castle Freak or Dagon. Yeah.
Okay, Castle Freak. Okay. Here's the funny thing. You want to hear something insane?
Yes.
Okay, so he wrote and directed. I'm going to tell you. Here it is. Flugelhorn. No. So he wrote and directed most of his movies. Would you like to know what movie he wrote but did not direct? It was a huge hit.
Gordon, right? That's who we're talking about?
Stuart Gordon. Yeah. Don't Google it. Okay. Don't wiki it.
I'm not. Go ahead.
Okay. Sorry, that was you waiting. Okay.
Wait, is it Stuart Little or something?
Close. The same man who wrote and directed Re-Animator and From Beyond, gross horror, body horror, also wrote Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
You are kidding.
I'm not kidding.
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. I get it.
He produced the sequel, but he wrote the first one. Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, think about it. It's sort of body horror. They're tiny. They're scared.
Yeah, well, he had a background in theater, like serious theater. Yeah. So when he did his first movie as Re-Animator, no one knew what to expect.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I mean, it's so funny, Siskel and Ebert, to hear them talking about the days of video, because those things are gone. I mean, sure, now we have like clips you can share and streaming, but the days of video helped movies a lot, like especially a movie like Re-Animator, which probably wasn't a huge hit. Like The Thing, John Carpenter's Thing, now considered one of the best horror movies ever. At the time, it was a bomb. And cable and video constantly, because you go to
insane to me. Like, I can't believe that was a bomb, quote unquote bomb.
I know, it's insane. It's like you wouldn't think about it now, but I mean, now there are people who call the Star Wars prequel trilogy classic. So
oh really?
Things change. Perhaps one day Showgirls and Glitter will finally get their due.
Oh, speaking of, what was it? It's in our next movie. We'll get into Showgirls.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll get into that later. So about Re-Animator, what else do you want to say about it? Do we want to watch some more Siskel and Ebert or?
No, we have time to do both.
Do we have time to do both?
I don't know. They recommended it. That's all I.
Yeah. And like I said, it's so funny. I mean, horror movies were huge on video, and I mean, they did rule the box office in the 80s. I mean, there was a reason why Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street kept making sequels every year. Yeah, because people were flocking to see them, and then the audience would tell you when enough was enough. When like Part 8 didn't do that great. Part 5 of Nightmare on Elm Street, they're like, oh, maybe it's time to wrap them up.
Yeah, that just went downhill though. I mean, just like.
Oh yeah, like Saw. Like think about it. Saw to me is a great perfect horror film. It's really you got tension. You have no idea what's going on. Oh yeah. Saw 2, pretty good. I will say the first 4 Saws, the endings or what I
Not a
love.
bad sequel. Yeah, yeah. Watching the Saw series is just kind of seeing how much of a soap opera it is, and like what happens at the end, where you are, what you're watching versus what's going on around it.
Oh yeah,
or how far back in the past you are,
and how much free time did Jigsaw have? Like, I'm recording.
Yeah. I love the connected world of those movies.
Yes. Yeah. So about Re-Animator, in Re-Animator, Herbert West, David Gale, the character as you saw that had no head, one of the professors at Miskatonic U, good old MU, and Herbert West, like he threatens to blackmail Herbert West because he wants his formula, and so Herbert West, the only way to do that, to get out of it, is to kill him. So
he had to bang him on the head with a shovel and then decapitate him with said shovel.
Shovel. He gets him with the shovel.
With the shovel.
Here comes the trouble. Hit you with a shovel.
He immediately turned into Adam Sandler. It was strange.
My favorite Paw Patrol character is Rubble. Okay, sorry, I had to get that out.
That's right.
We did kind of turn it down. I said, "Whoo!" So yeah, hits him with the shovel. Here's the dumb thing, Herbert West. You don't reanimate the guy that was threatening to blackmail you, and you kill.
Yeah. Well, before that, it didn't really work for like
the college, the dean. Right, the dean. Of the
not
college?
For the dean, not for the cat. Like there was no sentience there, really. It was all blood and murder and going crazy.
Herbert West has a partner. I cannot remember the character's name, but the partner is dating the daughter of the dean, who is witnessing all this happening. She sees her dad, who was dead, come back to life. Is like a
Barbara Crampton. She's still around. She goes to all the different horror conventions and things like that.
She was also in From Beyond, as you know. Yeah, Barbara, gotta love her. Yeah,
she's great. Yeah.
So again, I can't remember the name of the character, so I'm just going to go with David Gale, the actor.
Yeah, thanks. That works.
Let's call him Professor Headless.
Okay.
So Professor Headless gets this power to control all the other reanimated people, which apparently there's a lot. And he starts reanimating people, and he makes an army. And then I don't really want to go into this, but I think you know what I'm about to talk about. They talk about the R. Yeah, there's a scene. There's a scene in Re-Animator. There's a scene. There's quite a few. Yeah. There's a scene where Professor Headless has a little dark, disgusting moment with Barbara Crampton, where he.
Oh yeah. There's depictions of SA in this movie. If you are sensitive to that, you may not want to watch it. Yeah.
I mean, he's a terrible person, and
he's a bad person.
He tries to assault her, and it gets very creative. We'll just leave it at that.
Yeah. So.
But it ends with like all the zombies. The dean finally gets like his head in the right place, and he saves his daughter, and all the zombies descend on Professor Headless and Herbert West, and they all like the walls fall in, and he's yelling at his partner like, "Save my work!
Did the walls fall in? I don't remember that.
I think something happens. They all get caught in some kind of tomb or something, right? It's called Deus Ex Machina. Go with it.
Okay, that's fine. I don't remember.
No, they all get trapped somewhere, and like things are falling down, so they're supposed to be buried alive or dead. So the partner, he takes Barbara Crampton, who somehow died. She got strangled by one of the zombies. And at the very end, he's got the last of the formula, and he injects her, and the screen fades to black, and she goes, you hear like a,
Oh, that was very good.
That's how it is. Like
I couldn't do it. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Well, I'm sure she doesn't do like a Mariah. She doesn't do the mini Ripperton.
Okay, I got to tell you something real quick. 1 second.
Go ahead.
It's almost over anyway, but that was great.
I'm so sorry. Did I talk too much?
There was this comedian lady that was doing a haunted house back in the day, like the 90s. Mariah Carey went through it. This girl scared her so bad. She was like, "Hit the high note, bitch. Hit the high note. Do it. And she's like, ah! Hit the high note." It was so funny. I don't know if it was real, but it sounded real. It was.
Matches. Guess what?
What?
Oh, was that too loud?
That was good. No.
Oh, okay.
You scared me. You
Matches. Guess what?
What?
Well, I'll tell you what, okay? I have been working, as you know, on a theme song. And each time we do the show, I think that was okay. but I could do better. So I went back and I decided to rewrite it. You know, last time we did the song, we had Michael Bolton show up, and that cost me a lot. That cost me a lot. He wanted a lot of Hot Pockets before he left. He's like, hello, Hot Pockets. What are you going to pick? But now I have a new theme song. I'm ready. It's a totally original melody. Never heard the melody before in your life. It's raw. It's raw. It's real. Are you ready to hear it?
Yeah, that's what we need in this podcast.
Okay. Right now, Matches, what I need you to do is I need you to go. Ready? Go. Matches and Shannon. Matches and Shannon. Don't you know Matches and Shannon? Now it's time to start the show. Movie Siskel and Ebert all night. Watch the show. You will love it. Don't you know? Matches and Shannon. Matches and Shannon. Matches and Shannon. Now it's time to start the show. Nerding out with Matches and Shannon. Here we go. Matches, you take the first line.
What was I supposed to do? Was I supposed to do something?
You were in the groove. You didn't know.
Yeah, I was.
So that was a totally original melody I came up with on my own.
You did it. Yeah. Congratulations.
Yeah. You big dummy.
You're going to just take off. You're going to.
You old fish-eye fool.
You are a shooting star.
So I'm a big hunk of rock that falls down.
Yeah, but it's pretty.
Oh, thank you.
From far away.
I feel like the meteorite from Joe Dirt sometimes.
Yeah. All right, guys, we've got a really good show.
Oh, we got a really big shoe for you tonight. That's right.
That's right.
We got a great pair of shows. And, you know, we talked about Re-Animator earlier. It was body horror. This is body ho.
Okay, Shannon, come on.
What?
This isn't the 80s. This is actually the early 90s.
What'd you just say?
This isn't the 80s. This is actually the early 90s.
That's right. This is the early 90s. This movie is a sexy, salty, saucy little mix of a thriller. No, this movie is like this movie. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
What movie?
I'm glad you asked. This movie we're going to do is Basic Instinct.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. Now, you may remember in the 90s, sometimes people our age who were teenagers could get into R-rated films sometimes. You know, like I was able to see Tales from the Dark Side. I was able to see Hellraiser 3. I was able to see Alien.
Pulp Fiction.
There you go.
I saw Pulp Fiction in the theater. Yeah, I was 16 years old.
You and I were both underage at the time. That's right.
Yeah.
But there were some movies they would definitely card, and this is one of them.
Oh, yeah. When you think of these kind of like almost Skinemax movies that made it big, that were actually good, what do you think of? You think of Basic Instinct, and you think of that
Fatal Attraction.
That's it.
Yep. Yeah. Are there more?
There's more probably, but those are the two I always think.
And what
of.
do they have in common? Michael Douglas.
Yeah, they do.
Right.
Yeah.
Son of Kirk. Yeah.
Yep. The only reason he was in this movie is because he was attached by the studio.
Yep.
When the director and writer came onto it.
So that's right.
He got to be in it.
Yeah, speaking of writer and director, but okay, let me say this one. So, like I said, this movie is a sexy thriller, and it's a bit naughty. You know.
Yeah, it's a bit naughty.
It's trashy, like good trashy.
I was shocked at just how much they showed.
I mean, yeah, it was the 90s. It was crazy. You know, the budget, they couldn't afford clothes.
Yeah.
Speaking of the writer and director, it was directed by Paul Verhoeven.
Oh, I love that guy.
Joe Esterhaus. Yeah. Well,
Joe Esterhaus, I love that name.
Yeah, they were collaborators sometimes. This was probably one of their best because they did this, and then they both collaborated on Showgirls.
Yeah, Showgirls. That's it. Yeah. Well, he wrote the movie and then got kicked off the project, and they had other people rewrite it.
Yep.
But it wasn't as good as his version, so they actually got to keep his name on the movie.
Yeah.
Later, him and Paul Verhoeven made up, and they were.
That's sweet.
It did well. He sent him a gift basket or something.
Yeah. And you talked about other sexy thriller movies. Like this movie influenced so many others, including ones that Joe Esterhaus also wrote, like Jade. I never saw Jade in '95, but it was considered like naughty.
Yeah, I remember that. I don't know if I ever saw it though. Was that
David Caruso?
David Caruso. Yeah, I think I actually did end up seeing it.
Did you? Okay. Was it good?
I think we rented it. I don't remember anything about it. So I don't remember the good bits. I don't remember anything about it. Yeah,
well, so. like I said, here's the thing. I talked about Alien 3. I was at a summer camp. It was movie night. We got to go to the movie. So I went to go see Alien 3. It was R-rated. Mm-hmm. Our teacher didn't. Our advisor didn't care, but he said nobody under 18 gets to go into Basic Instinct because it was still playing. Except for one guy who'd been held back a few grades and was 18.
Are you serious?
He went to go see Basic Instinct. He walked out with the most weird smile on his face. We're like, how was it, man?
He's like, I have the weirdest boner right now.
Oh my God. And I bet if we go back and look at it, okay, you saw it for the first time, right?
Yes, it's my very first time watching this.
Okay, so maybe I shouldn't ask you this. Did you think it was like, for the time it was like, wow, but do you think like after all these years of, are we jaded? Like, is it like?
Well, now we've kind of gone back to more of a conservative type of movies, I guess. Where they're not as just explicit, I guess. Like they can have it, they can still have it. But I was actually kind of shocked at the amount of nudity and sex that was in this movie.
Okay.
I'm not a prude. Don't get me wrong. I loved it. It was amazing.
Here's the thing: if you've got all that, you got to have a good story to back it up. And this movie has a great story. Yeah, twists and turns, and the
script is so solid. The acting is so solid in this movie. I couldn't believe it. Like with just glances. They said so much.
Oh my gosh, yes!
All of these actors working together were fantastic.
Right. The story works so well. It literally builds and builds and builds. And,
it does.
We'll talk about the ending after the Siskel and Ebert.
For sure.
The ending is still controversial to this day, and not for the reason you might think, like, oh, is it naughty? No.
Yeah, and I enjoyed every single second of it. It was a good time.
Very good movie. I had to wait a year till it went to Showtime at home, and so
did you?
I had to wait a whole year to see it. But I had seen some of it, and let me tell you where we were on a beta club trip in Little Rock. That's right, the big city. Woohoo! Yeah. We're loose on the town. Here comes Mount Holly. So we're in our hotel, and our beta club sponsor got Basic Instinct on the rental thing. When you could rent a movie in a hotel. And all of my classmates, all of my beta club members were in there watching Basic Instinct with her.
Oh, really?
And that was funny. Yeah.
That's crazy. I'll never forget my band director calling us in the middle of the night at a hotel, telling us that, what was the movie called? It was like
Boxing Helena.
No, it wasn't Boxing Helena.
I'm sorry.
It was cheerleaders at the Bolorama or something like that.
Cheerleaders at the Slime Bowl.
We watched Boxing Helena that night, I think, or one night.
Which one? Boxing Helena?
It's Sherilyn Fenn.
Julian Sands.
Was it David Lynch's daughter that directed that?
I don't know. It had a Lynchian feel.
Yeah, it was something related to him.
What did your band director do?
In the middle of the night and said, "There's a movie called Cheerleaders at the Slime Bolorama or something on this channel. We just wanted to make sure you did not watch that."
And then what happened?
Well, of course we already knew, and we were watching it.
I was going to say, like, if you did that, you're like, what channel? What channel was it?
Yeah, but I don't know. I never knew if he heard it through the walls or if he was just letting us know that was on.
Yeah, maybe he was flipping the channels. He was like, oh, I got to warn the kids.
That's right.
And he should have warned you because that movie's horrible. Like, it's considered a cult B-movie classic, but it's kind of horrible.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's like the two sorority sisters and fraternity boys break into a bowling alley in the middle of the night. And like most bowling alleys, one of the trophies contains a demon gin.
Yeah, it is sorority girls at the Slime Bowl.
Yes.
Yeah, that's it. So
yeah. I guess it's enjoyably bad, but yeah. So we're talking Basic Instinct, and we're talking Basic Instinct. And here's the thing: we talked about Slime-O-Rama. That's a B movie. Basic Instinct and Fatal Attraction influenced so many B movies because I had Showtime. Yeah. And I feel like Showtime was like the place, and Cinemax were the place where B movies went to congregate and to hang out.
These are definitely the queen of those movies.
Oh my gosh, yes! Like you saw.
I always assumed it was just. I just assumed it was just trash TV, and like if I watched it, I watched it. If I didn't, I didn't.
Yeah, it's fine.
I was surprised that I liked it. I was very surprised that I liked
without Basic Instinct, we probably wouldn't have Wild Things.
Yeah.
Which is another movie that I think is trashy great.
Yeah, Nev Campbell, Denise Richards,
Matt Dillon.
Kevin Bacon, the Baconator,
and Bill Murray, the sexy Bill Murray.
Oh, was he in it?
Yeah, a lot of people forget he's in there.
Yeah. I wonder why.
Probably because they forgot many reasons. It's a sexy Robert Wagner.
Oh, Robert Wagner.
As a corporate lawyer.
Yeah, that hasn't aged well, but that's okay. Moving right along.
So about Basic Instinct. So basically, we'll set it up real quick before Siskel and Ebert. You got it starts with R rating. It starts with automatic hide your kids, hide your wife. You know,
well, I wanted to laugh. I was like, do people really have sex that way? And then I was like, wait, if I say that and they do actually have sex that way, am I the one that just doesn't know? Because like, I'm just gonna say she was flailing about, like not in a normal sexy way, but just flailing.
An epileptic fit almost kind of way. Like, are you okay?
I will say that really is Sharon Stone in the opening scene. She's the actress that they have behind that. Yeah, she actually filmed that part, whether it's supposed to be her or not.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
The actual actress.
That's the thing. So for those of you who haven't seen it, we're going to spoil it for you.
Yeah, it's been years. You've got.
Yeah, sorry. You had your time. So basically, it starts off with like this really raucous sex scene, and Johnny Boz is a retired rocker, and he's got Sharon Stone apparently, and they are wrestling, as I used to say when I was young. They are wrestling, and
they're doing their taxes.
They are. They're changing a light bulb. That's what they said on Webster. I don't know if you remember that.
No, it was always doing the taxes or something. Yeah, always on the sitcoms.
Sam and George, and like, we were just changing a light bulb.
Poor Webster.
Off the record, this doesn't have to be on the show, but my wife had a friend who, when the husband and wife, they had kids, when they wanted, mommy daddy time, they would go brown chicken, brown cow.
Brown chicken, brown
That's cow. Exactly what they would say. They would say brown chicken, brown cow.
I love that. That's so good.
So back to the show. So as they're reaching their apex, the lady pulls out from under the bed an ice pick. Mm-hmm. And oh my gosh.
And she goes to town with that thing.
She put some holes in poor Johnny Boz. And that is the mystery that begins this whole movie, puts it into motion. And the director's cut, I don't know if you've seen the director's cut.
I haven't. I was curious about it.
Okay. I don't know what else it adds to it, but it makes the murder scene way more graphic.
Really?
Yeah, I'm talking ice pick in the eye.
Is there more love stains on the sheets?
All right, David Allen Coe.
Man,
maybe.
That was a lot. That was gross.
I was going to say, fun fact, when it got released to DVD, it came with a special package with an ice pick. I'm sure it was rubber. I'm sure it was
really.
There was an ice pick.
I think I remember that. Like, they used to package things like that with DVD.
Yeah, I thought about buying it just for that.
Yeah, that's cool. I wish you'd be worth something today if you had it. I know.
That's true. I used to
would not open that. I'm just saying. I'm just joking. All right, let's see what Siskel and Ebert had to say about this movie. I'm curious. I don't think they would like this movie.
See, I don't know. Did they like Fatal Attraction? Did they like other sexy thrillers? I don't know. I really don't. But I just don't see it. I think that they would like it today. Well, Paul Verhoeven wasn't just about the sexy. His first big hit was RoboCop.
That's true. Yeah, RoboCop.
Yep.
Wait, didn't he do Total Recall as well?
Yes, he did.
Yeah, because Sharon Stone was in that.
That's right. She was in a small but very important role, and she was great.
It's true. Yeah, no, she didn't. I heard that they didn't want her to read for that part at all. So her manager broke into the studio,
Sean Young,
with a credit card and everything, stole the script and gave it to her, and that's when they gave her a shot.
So a B&E made her, wow.
Yeah, that's the only reason she got in that movie, and Paul Verhoeven is the only reason she got into Basic Instinct, because they asked everyone except for her.
Wow. And to me, those are her two best roles to me.
She had done 18 movies until then.
Yeah, she had been in a lot of
she was a nobody. And I can tell you that it would not be the same if Julia Roberts had said yes.
Instead of no. Are you talking about the Total Recall?
No, to Basic.
To Basic. Wait, was she asked for Basic?
She was asked. If name an actress, and I'll tell you if she was asked. Go ahead.
Dame Judi Dench.
No.
Kathy Bates.
No. Surprisingly,
Jessica Tandy. I'm going to keep going with this, right?
I walked into this one. I walked into that. Okay, all right.
Natalie from Facts of Life.
Let's throw it to Siskel and Ebert.
Tootie? It was Tootie, wasn't it?
It was not Tootie. I really set myself up for that one. I'm sorry.
Mary Tyler Moore. Oh, Mr. Grant. Here we go.
You shouldn't play this game.
Why not? I like it.
You're in over your head.
Maybe. But this is how I'll catch my killer.
Detective Michael Douglas is turned on by sexy suspected killer Sharon Stone in Basic Instinct.
And this is a whodunit where it doesn't really pay to waste a lot of your time trying to figure out who did it, because the whole answer depends on one single arbitrary final shot. The movie stars Michael Douglas as a troubled police detective who investigates a murder where the prime suspect is a novelist played by Sharon Stone, who has written a book describing exactly the kind of murder she's suspected of committing. The Stone character is bisexual and uses her sexuality to intrigue the policemen who are cross-examining her.
You ever engage in any sadomasochistic activity?
Oh, sorry. I didn't know we were on. Oh, my God. You know what she said? She said, hello, Newman.
Yeah. I love Wayne Knight. He's apparently the assistant district attorney in here. He's ADA, whatever.
Yes,
I didn't know that until I looked at the character names and stuff, and I'm like, okay, I guess he's that.
He's a sweaty, pervy toad.
Oh, man.
He's literally sweating in that scene.
His acting there is amazing because he's literally just like so inappropriate.
Yes.
So sweating.
And Wayne Knight, great at playing unlikable, creepy characters.
Oh, yeah.
I will never forgive him for Jurassic Park.
Yeah, I was excited to see Wayne Knight's name in this movie at the beginning. Yeah, I was excited to see Stephen Tobolsky's name.
Tobolsky's in it. Look out, Ned Ryerson.
Ned Ryerson. Yeah, he was the doctor, kind of sort of at the beginning that gave us a lowdown of the killer or whatever.
Oh, great character actors. Yeah, it's been a long time since I've seen it.
Young though, and it was almost unrecognizable. So okay. If I hadn't seen his name, I wouldn't have recognized him.
Ah, that's funny. I know. Yeah, he did change in looks, kind of. But
he's
he
an interesting guy.
That voice.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, okay, so yeah, Tobolsky's in it. Jean Triplehorn, who
is
I don't know if this one of her first movies. I never heard of her until this movie.
This is her first big role or role at all, I think. It's what
really?
I think so, yeah. Because it wasn't like the lead or whatever. Which I mean, who would you say the lead is in this movie?
I would say it's obviously Sharon Stone, but
the lead Michael Douglas by a hair, right? Like,
I would say they're co-stars.
Yeah,
right?
they are. How much do you think Michael Douglas made?
Did he make more than Sharon Stone initially?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. Here we go. You ready?
Yeah.
$10. No, let me see. For his role, let me see.
This is 1991, remember?
Okay, 5 million?
No, you're close, actually, the first time.
Oh, 10 million.
Up.
11 million. Really? Up? They were making that much then? 12, 15. 300. Okay, 12, 13.
14, he made 14 million. 14 million. And guess how much Sharon Stone made?
Okay, Sharon Stone, who, by the way, without this movie, the movie probably wouldn't have been as well known or well beloved.
Yeah, she was not known at all. She was not wanted by anyone, especially Michael Douglas.
5 million. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
They faked that chemistry good then. 5 million. 2 million.
You're close with 5. It's actually $500,000.
You're kidding me.
No, not at all. No, she signed on for $500,000.
But even if you put his name first, they're still like the stars.
Yeah, and the whole time, Michael Douglas kept saying, "She keeps one upping me. She keeps one upping me." Like, and did he really? Like, yeah. So they had to keep changing the script for him and stuff a little bit. So a lot of the power dynamics between them in the movie are like fueled by their real life power dynamics. There was one scene where she walks over and hands him a drink, and because he demanded it, he was supposed to walk over to her and grab the drink from her.
Oh,
but he wouldn't have that. His character would have her bring it over to him. So, and it was like this the entire time.
Dick done get his own drinks.
He had apparently no self-awareness. And I have no problem saying this. Like, I don't know, that dude. I'm just kidding. But he sounds like a real
matches.
We're gonna go back to Siskel Ebert.
Matches. I got some bad news for you, ladies and gentlemen. Michael Douglas. This is awful.
Oh no, yeah, I don't care.
Mikhail Douglas, the Russian version. Mikhail Douglas. I was in basic.
It's just 5 years after this movie, people were making jokes about how old he was, right? Like,
yeah, and then
like wearing diapers, yeah. It's so funny.
Didn't she have to walk him up the aisle? Wow, that's crazy. Well, hopefully she got some kind of deal at the end, because I mean, without her, the movie would. I can't imagine another actress like Michael Douglas.
No. They worked so well together.
Yes, they did. They did.
Unrealistic. Like, yeah, she played this. just manipulative, psychopath so well. Like just the power of suggestion. Like it's not just what she said, but what she didn't say. I think that like led them to kind of like their own imaginations to run wild too about what could have happened. And she was just such a good character. It's so underrated.
Even as the evidence against Stone seems to be piling up, Douglas falls more and more under her spell.
You won't learn anything I don't want you to know.
Yes, I will. And I'll nail you.
No. You'll just fall in love with me.
I'm in love with you already.
A police psychologist
Oh, I just gotta say, that was a good line they cut off. I'm in love with you already, but I'm still gonna nail you.
I'll nail you anyway.
Metaphorically.
That was a really good line.
That is a great line. This movie's full of great lines.
Basic Instinct has been protested against by various gay rights groups because all of the women in the film are either lesbians and or possible murderers and or both. They have a point. Leaving the controversy aside, Basic Instinct will be a disappointment to admirers of such movies as Jagged Edge, Sea of Love, and Fatal Attraction because the more you understand the plot, the more you realize how mechanically constructed it is.
I can defeat this movie on more than just the last shot. I don't think that this movie is about anything. Fatal Attraction.
I don't even think that the last shot doesn't even have to tell you about it. Maybe she didn't commit all the murders. Maybe Beth committed some of the murders. Maybe it was
You think it was a half and half?
Maybe. No, I don't think it was, actually. I think it was
do we
all
want to talk about the ending right now or save it for when they're
we
done?
can save it for later. Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. Well, I mean, it is kind of funny. Yeah, okay, the ending is one of the best parts, but it's not the only great part of the film. You've got all these, like I was going to say, it is a cat and mouse game, but you don't know which one is the cat and which one is the mouse.
Yeah, it's true.
They kind of switch places, right?
They
Michael
do,
Douglas says he thinks she did it, but she's still hot.
Yeah.
And he sleeps with her, starts a relationship with her. And she is stringing him along. But it almost seems like at one point he reaches her heart and opens it up and melts it. Like he kind of reaches her, her vulnerability comes out. Or does it?
I don't know. Like, I feel like she was actually vulnerable a couple of times in the movie, especially after Roxy died. And she was I think she was maybe feeling all of it. And maybe, I mean, of course, if it was real, she was also using it to manipulate him. Well, I mean, whether it was real or not.
Right. It's crazy because like everything that's happened to her, she turns into a book. And people seem to die around her a lot. And not only that, think about the company she keeps. Roxy killed her family or parts of her family, right? Remember, so Roxy killed her. And then she's friends with the lady who chopped up her family, if you remember, an little old lady.
Yeah, that never gets explained at all.
No, you keep thinking there's like a major important part to it.
They're just buddies, man.
Right?
But yeah, I mean, after the movie, you just kind of know that they're killer buddies, I guess.
Exactly.
That are walking free.
That's right. That's right. And Jean Triplehorn, you find out more and more in the movie that maybe she knows Sharon Stone a little bit more than she's letting on,
Yeah. Do you think she was the psycho stalker one?
See, I don't know. She said that Sharon Stone's character was stalking her, and Sharon Stone said that her character was stalking her.
And it was good with that picture of them back then, where Beth is the one looking down at her, and she could.
You want to imitate it? I'll you be Sharon Stone, I'll be Jean Triplehorn. Ready?
Okay.
I think we got it. Nailed it. And she's all like, I don't know why you can't be mine. I'm right here.
Yeah, she did dye her hair blonde. She did. Yeah, I think she was the one for sure. Yep. Yeah. Doesn't make her the bad guy. Doesn't make her.
Before we get back to Siskel Ebert, we've talked about all the sexy cast members, but the sexiest, George Dzunda. All right, let's go.
Man, Gus. I would watch Gus in anything. He was great.
This is great. I love George Dzunda. However you pronounce his name.
Let's see what else Siskel has to say.
Let's see if they gave it the ultimate thumbs down.
This picture isn't about a damn thing except other than its hot sex scenes.
This is simply manipulation.
Absolutely.
It's mechanical. It's wind up. It's Tinker Toys. It's take this character and make you think this and make you think that, and at the end, either throw in a shot and you think one thing, take the shot out, you think something else. It doesn't matter. Your emotions are not involved. You don't.
Are we stupid?
Have we been manipulated?
Take out the sex scenes in Fatal Attraction, you still got a good movie, an interesting movie. Take out the sex scenes here, you got nothing.
Well said.
That was harsher than I could have ever hoped for.
Yeah, a simple no would have sufficed.
I know, not for me.
Not my cup of tea. Not my cup of tea.
No,
you said it was harsh.
I think they're 100% wrong. I don't know. I'm watching this movie today. I mean, this is a sexy, fun thriller. It's dark. It's well written. The characters are fleshed out for this type of 80s, 90s cop movie, you know, like.
And except for the beginning and the ending, I guess you could take out the sex scenes. You'd still have a great movie. The beginning is very important.
Yeah.
And the ending is also important, but you still have a great movie. And I don't think there was nothing going on like they said. I think it was a good thriller. It was whodunit, what's doing, you know, and it reminded me of that old country song, like who's doing who. No, I'm just kidding.
What was the comedy where the chair turns around and it's just a beaver sitting in the chair?
Oh, is that Loaded Weapon?
You know what I'm talking about?
Loaded Weapon 1?
It might be. Loaded Weapon 1, was it?
Yeah, because Kathy Ireland.
So.
Yeah, they interrogated. You sound like you're lagging a little, Matthew. Sorry about that, buddy.
Am I lagging? Okay. What did I do? I don't know what I did differently. Okay. Anyway, yeah, that was funny. Anyway, but I wanted to go to that interrogation scene. With Michael Douglas. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You know, Kathy Ireland played that role in Loaded Weapon 1. They were interrogating her.
Really?
Yeah, and I think at one point she spun the chair around while she was in it, and there was all kinds of things. Yeah.
That's pretty funny. But the interrogation scene, I expected there to be more. All you really saw was the treasure trail, kind of.
Yeah. Fun fact, Sharon Stone didn't know they were going to make that shot.
Yeah, she said back then that she kind of did, and then now she says not. But I don't know.
Some people, you know, it's like the stars of the Romeo and Juliet from the very early 70s. Now they're saying they didn't want to be naked, but I don't know. You know, it's like, well,
yeah,
I don't know. People change their minds, but and they have a right to change their minds, of course.
That's right.
But Sharon, so the interrogation scene, you know, where she again manipulating all those men in there, they totally forget what they're supposed to do.
Oh my gosh, it's so good. And then the whole thing with the cigarettes, like, what are you going to do? Arrest me for smoking? Yeah, it's so good. And then he does it later, exact word for word, and then he's got his little alibi too. Yeah, and I love that. I love that those scenes were mirrored. Like,
oh my gosh, really cool. And the way that Michael Douglas sort of unravels, because at the beginning, you know, he's a cocky know-it-all cop. He has made a huge mistake. He accidentally killed 2 tourists because he was high on cocaine.
The thing is, he's already unraveled. He's just, you know.
Oh, you think he's already unraveled?
I mean, yeah, I think he's, you know, on the edge, trying to do better, trying not to mess up, because he's not doing coke anymore. He's not doing drinking anymore. He's not smoking anymore. Nope. He's had it rough, like, and he's trying to level out, but it doesn't mean, you know, underneath it's all
right.
You know, peace and harmonies, I guess.
Exactly.
Peas and carrots.
I mean, it does seem a bit of a conflict. It does seem a bit of a conflict of interest to be having an affair with your therapist.
That's true. Yeah.
So let's talk about that ending. Okay.
So I want to talk about the ending right before the ending.
Oh, that's what I wanted to talk about.
She's writing the book, right?
Oh, okay.
Did you notice the pages that were printing out of her printer from the computer of the book? It's the scene. It's literally the scene where Michael Douglas's character Nick runs into the building, tries to hit the elevator button, says runs up the stairs and finds
who he's trying to save. Who is he trying to save?
He finds the dead body of his partner in the elevator, Gus, our favorite Gus. But the book she's writing says it word for word. I
forgot about that part. That's genius.
Yeah.
Good job there, Mr. House.
It's true.
That is genius. That's a really good thing. And then someone in a trench coat and blonde hair murders poor Gus. And I'm talking not just kills him, like just butchers, you know.
And who shows up?
Janine. Jean Triplehorn. I want to call her Janine.
Jean Triplehorn.
That's right. Jean Triplehorn shows up in a trench coat.
Looking all suspicious.
Now, here's my favorite part. I'm going to go ahead and reveal it for you. So her hand goes into her pocket and something pokes out, and Michael Douglas fires and shoots her. And then when she pulls her hand out,
he did warn her.
It's a Bart Simpson keychain.
Why was it a Bart Simpson keychain?
Because it was the 90s, I guess.
There was something to that we missed. There's got to be.
Well, if you think about it, his head.
I think it was from the child that he killed by accident.
What? No. You stop saying.
I mean, it could be. It actually could be because I don't know.
But I thought it was hilarious. It was hilarious. It was a Bart Simpson keychain. You know?
That wasn't hers. Like, I mean, if it was hers, she's more wackadoodle.
Who doesn't love the Simpsons in 1992? Everybody loves the Simpsons in 1992.
I don't think Beth would. No, maybe.
Well, you know what?
Not Nick or not.
Well,
Sharon Stone's character.
It was very obvious when he shot her, and her last words were, "Don't have a cow, man."
That's right.
But yeah, poor Gus gets it, and Gene Triplehorn gets it, and all of a sudden the cops are saying what to Michael Douglas? They're saying they found tons of. Oh, okay. They found.
What are you talking about?
A Lisa Simpson keychain. No, they found tons of evidence in Gene Triplehorn's apartment.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, they found lots. Okay.
It very well could have been planted there, but also it really throws you off there. You know, it does.
And then the ending, Michael Douglas goes home. Sharon Stone's there. They make the sweet love. He says, "Let's get married. Let's have Rugrats." Yeah. She leans over the side of the bed, just like the beginning of the movie. Mm-hmm. Comes back and puts her arms on him. No weapon, and says,
"You think it's going to come back around and stab him?"
Yep.
Yeah.
But then
it doesn't.
But it fades to black for 1 second. What happens next, Matches?
Well, what happens next?
Oh, I'm glad you asked.
We pan down the bed to the floor, and what's there? But
an ice pick.
It's an ice pick, yeah.
Oh, sorry, I spoiled it. Sorry, I couldn't wait.
It's fine, but yeah, that was. I mean, and I mean, she done it. She done it.
To this,
you can still question it, still think about it.
Yeah. Not to this day, but till 97, I didn't know. A lot of people were like, "Well, was she the killer? Was she?" People were confused. And they could have made it clearer, but apparently she was the killer, according to, I heard the director talk about it. That's the only reason I knew. But Sharon Stone herself says maybe she wasn't.
Yeah, but if you count Basic Instinct 2, she actually says she did it all. Like,
yeah. So, which we won't count Basic Instinct. We won't count
because it wasn't good.
Yeah, Basic Instinct was delicious, like Chinese food. Woo! And we are done with perhaps the sweatiest NOMS pod that we've ever done. Sensual. It was a good time. Sensual yet sweet. Yeah, we talked about
sensual and sweet. Yeah, and short.
You like that? Yeah,
we did. Yeah.
It's crazy how both of those movies were very similar. It's like a mirror.
It's true. Yeah.
Yes, they both did feature twists and turns, and man, I just feel, I don't know, man. Should we take? I should probably shower later.
Oh yeah, probably so.
Oh, sorry. Oh, she's outside with mom. Sorry, guys. Love you. Okay. That was a group. That was a little rocket. No. So we want to thank you so much for joining us for watching / listening to NOMS Pod. And we have a sponsor, Matches.
We do.
We're sponsored by Snikey Sportswear. That's right, Snikey Sportswear. When you just want to be out there, Snikey, maybe do it.
Oh, yeah. And don't forget about our Gmail, too. You can write to us. You can tell us what you want to see. You can tell us that you want to sponsor us. That'd be really cool. Our Gmail is nomspodcast. That's NOMS podcast @gmail.com. We look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.
Email us and you'll be rolling with the homies. Nothing but a Gmail, baby.
I don't know if we can say that.
Oh, can we not? We can roll with
demonetize.
That would be nice.
Immediately demonetized.
Oh, seriously?
I don't know. Well, yeah, it can happen. It can really. It's happened like
no,
that.
I know. All right. Well, join us next time. Well, why don't you?
No. Okay, I will. I'm just kidding.
At the audience, you're automatically in contract. You signed.
That's true. I have to be here.
Purgatory.
Nom nom nom.
Nom nom nom.